Today we are going to discuss about the cervical intraepithelial lesions of the cervix and punch biopsy forceps and lead. Okay. This is the punch biopsy forceps. Can you see? Go ahead. This is the punch biopsy forceps which opens at the end, and we take a biopsy from the surface of the cervix by identifying the target. Okay. And this is the loop of the Lippes loop. The cautery tip is like this. It has got a thin wire which becomes red hot, and we can excise the cervical tissue with the help of the red hot wire. Okay. What do you understand by loop? It is the excision of the transformation zone with the help of this electric wire or loop. Okay. Can be combined with the endocervical curettage. Why there is need to do the endocervical curettage? Because I am interested in getting the sample from the cervical canal to rule out any pathology in the canal. What is next is, what is the long form of this loop electrical excision procedures, or it is also known as loop electrical excision of transformation zone. Okay. It is a conservative treatment for CIN1 or HPV and HPV, of course CIN2 and 3. These are the precancerous conditions of the cervix. But this report of CIN1, 2, 3 is identified by histological examination of the cervix biopsy. Hence the treatment of loop or leap is done only after histopathological biopsy report. To tell you the truth, it is a very minor procedure done on the exocervix, can be done in the OPD, can be combined with the colposcopy as a triage system, and done in the operation theatre also, sometimes with anesthesia if the surgeon is not skilled one. Why I am interested in getting the sample of transformation zone? Because it is a vital area for precancerous conditions like CIN1, 2, 3. There are areas of left out columnar epithelial cells also where there is a risk of developing adenocarcinoma. Sometimes, in 50% of the cases, CIN1 or any type of CIN1, CIN disease and cancer can coexist together. As such, the cervical cancer, it originates from the squamocolumnar junction. It is a vital area. And cancer has got multicentric origin on the transformation zone, where constant metaplasia is occurring. Metaplasia means replacement of columnar cells with the squamous cells. They are immature squamous cells. So metaplastic cells, they are replacing the columnar cells on the exocervix. Sometimes CIN2 and cancer can coexist on the transformation zone. This is the principle of this cervical cancer, pathogenesis I mean. Hence, with the help of LEAP, there is a need to identify the pathology on the transformation zone. There is a need to locate the site of pathological lesion. There is a need to rule out the cervical cancer also. If the squamocolumnar junction is not seen on the colposcopy, there is a possibility that there may be a lesion in the canal also. That is why, with the help of LEAP, I can identify. Why there is a need of LEAP in all these cases? The problem of cytology is, it just determines the pathology. Whether it is in the endocervix or exocervix, we don't understand. It identifies the pathology in the cervix. Colposcopy locates the site of pathology and predicts the possibility of CIN2, 3 and even cancer. Colposcopically directed biopsy confirms the pathology exactly at that site from where I have taken the biopsy. Somehow, there is possibility of developing cancer elsewhere. There is possibility of cancer existing in the endocervical canal also. That is why LEAP should be combined with endocervical curettage, or cone biopsy is a better biopsy procedure whenever the squamocolumnar junction is not seen. Let us try to understand the prognosis of CIN1 lesion because everything starts from the CIN1 lesion. 60% of the cases it regresses. 50% of cases CIN2 and 3 can coexist. And remember 1.4% they progress to CIN2 within 5 years. This is a latent phase for CIN1 disease. Hence, all patients with CIN1, I must follow them with cytology and colposcopy till 5 years every 6 months. In short, CIN1 progresses to cancer. This is I am talking of cancer. In 4% cases within 10 years. CIN2 20% cases within 5 years. CIN3 100% of cases they progress to malignancy within very short span, 5 months only to 1 year approximately. Whenever there is a HPV infection diagnosed by HPV DNA testing, HPV PCR, then also the risk increases. Let us concentrate on CIN1 first, then CIN2, 3. Let us study what is CIN1, how do you diagnose, what is the treatment. Okay. Suppose the report of cytology is LC lesion, means there is CIN1 lesion. Okay. In such cases, I have to repeat the cytology next 6 months. If CIN1 lesion or LC is the persistent thing, report, then locate the site of the lesion or severe degree of the lesion with the help of colposcopy. So in these cases, colposcopy is need for persistent lesion. Rule out severe degree of lesion, rule out extension of the lesion in the canal by endocervical cureter, then subject the lady for ablasive treatment like cauterization, cryoelectric or laser cauterization. CIN1 lesion never be cauterized unless colposcopy is done and malignancy ruled out. In high-risk patients, LEEP is the treatment if there is HPV infection or persistent CIN lesion. If the cervical biopsy is suggestive of severe dysplasia like CIN2, CIN3, in those cases, broadly the treatment is LEEP plus ECC. If the report says there is carcinoma C2 or microinvasive carcinoma, then cone biopsy is the best. This is also a choice, but to some extent in cone biopsy, the thing is we excise the endocervical canal and whole of the endocervical canal is obtained for exploration or histopathological examination. In short, we'll learn what are the indications of LEEP. When you are asked, the question is asked in the examination. Remember it this way: abnormal cervix means erosion bleeds on touch. Abnormal visual inspection means acetowhite area positive. Shearer's test abnormal means iodine negative area. Abnormal cytology, anything above HSIL. Abnormal colposcopy means major degree, minor or major degree changes. Abnormal histology, CIN2 and above. This histology is usually a random biopsy or colposcopically directed biopsy. This is how the abnormal cervix, I should do the LEEP procedure if there is HPV infection and high risk cases. The abnormal erosion means the erosion which bleeds on touch. There is more risk of a vascular lesion there or severe degree of lesion. The conditions where colposcopy is inadequate to interpret means squamocolumnar junction is not seen or the presence of acetowhite area is in the canal. Then I cannot rule out the possibility of lesion in the canal, and LEEP will help in these cases. Should be combined with endocervical curettage. In these cases, when the squamocolumnar junction is not seen, the cervix is atrophic, colposcopy is inadequate, the LEEP will help. Where in this case, at the squamocolumnar junction, there is acetowhite area with abnormal capillaries, mosaic pattern. She needs either cone biopsy or LEEP with ECC. Colposcopy photograph showing punctations, fine punctations and coarse punctations here should be subjected for LEEP. Colposcopy showing fine mosaic, coarse mosaic subjected for LEEP. Colposcopy with abnormal capillaries, doubt of malignancy, go ahead with either the LEEP and ECC or go ahead with the cone biopsy. After colposcopy, vascular examination, we apply acetic acid and have a look over the acetovite area. Grade 2 means dense acetovite area more than 2 quadrants which appear very fast on acetic acid application, or area with rough surface and punctations indicate severe degree of dysplasia. Such type of colposcopy finding, the cervix should be on the cervix, the LEEP should be done. Say, you see here, it is a acetovite area with punctations. Okay, so here LEEP is required. Suspicion of invasion, of course, cone is the best. Thus, in short, whenever the cervical biopsy, after wedge biopsy, acetic acid test biopsy, Schiller's test biopsy, colposcopy biopsy, the histopathology report documents CIN 2, 3, then LEEP is the procedure. So the purpose of the LEEP is to explore whole of the transformation zone for severe degree of dysplasia and to give the conservative treatment also. And yes, most important, whenever cytology and histopathology report is not matching, please go ahead with the LEEP procedure. This is how the LEEP specimen is obtained, annular place, but it is a gold standard. And after the LEEP examination, main histopathological report of this specimen, if the lesion is nearer the margin, means margins of the biopsy specimen are not lesion free, then this is not an adequate treatment. This is an adequate treatment, but margins are lesion free. In the cone biopsy also, the margins of this biopsy specimen should be lesion free. At least 7 millimeter of area of the squamous epithelium from the lesion should be there to exclude possibility of invasive lesion. Thus, in short, LEEP is indicated when CIN1 plus HPV, CIN2 or CIN3 should be combined with ECC. It is a therapy also and it is a diagnostic procedure also. When there is doubt of invasion, cone biopsy is the best. Supportive treatment should be given, treat the infection, remove the IUCD, encourage the use of condom, use of antioxidants, carotene, vitamin E, A and C. Contraindications as usual, infection, pregnancy we don't do. Complications like infection and bleeding are expected. That is all about the LEEP. Thank you so much.